Hey everybody, good morning and welcome back to the ChatGTM podcast. It's Michael Beck with Ink Tank GTM here from the Restaurant Leadership Conference at the beautiful JW Marriott in Phoenix, Arizona. And I am graced, as almost always, to be in the company of somebody that's doing something really special in the market. And right now, the person I'm talking about is standing right next to me. Her name is Miss Usha Hu. How are you today, Yusha?
Thank you for having me. So excited to be here.
I love having you on because you have a great story to tell. Yusha Hu's with Sightline OS, and I'm not going to define this because I want to make sure I don't miss the message. Sightline OS is what?
We are a supply chain planning and management AI for restaurants.
Okay, supply chain managing AI. So tell me a little bit about what that is by definition.
Sure, yeah. Maybe I can start with my background.
Okay.
So we work with supply chain teams at corporate chains. That was me in my past roles. So this really came out of inspiration from being supply chain director at Sweetgreen, leading procurement at Chipotle.
Oh.
I led planning and procurement in a couple other groups at HelloFresh. And at all of these really amazing companies, I was just feeling a lot of friction around trying to get my work done because we didn't have a lot of tools. There was probably like an aha moment. We had implemented some tools at Sweetgreen that we wanted to create automation from. I don't know that it was totally seamless to get there.
Okay.
We at Chipotle implemented a large ERP system. And then we finally, after over a year, we're ready to go.
It's a big lift.
Big lift. Big lift.
Yeah.
And then I had a day where I realized, shoot, the planning team is still just taking this ERP and downloading stuff out of it into Excel and then doing our work in Excel.
So we're talking data silos that aren't connecting and not talking about what the total picture is. Is that right?
It was really hard to get visibility, even just to know where things were today. And in supply chain, you really have to know what's going to happen in the future and what you should be paying attention to.
Sure.
It could be supply risk, like something got disrupted in the supply chain, which is happening more and more often now.
Right.
I was at Chipotle through COVID, so there was a lot of
that's a whole special thing.
Oh man, there were moments where the ports were so backed up. I was living in Long Beach. I could go to the beach and point to my boat number 39 in the harbor, waiting to come in, then park there for weeks. But you deal with disruptions, you deal with a lot of cost savings opportunities. The market's always changing. You want to be on top of it. You want to know what you should be paying attention to. There's a ton of data.
And we're not just talking about food. We're talking about everything that goes into it, right? Whether it's your paper goods and all the other things that go into it.
Paper goods, furniture, all of the things that run a restaurant, direct and indirect procurement.
Okay.
And then there's all the costs around moving things from point A to point B, distribution, freight, and you need to have visibility to all of it.
Right.
And without that, you can't ensure that your restaurants are never going to have menu outages due to supply shortages. That's that's crippling.
Right.
Crippling the guest experience, crippling the restaurant's profit margin. And you also have these, as supply chain, these need to be disciplined and to drive the best possible decisions on great product to buy, but also the best price. And a lot of times what you generate in supply chain, that's A, a better guest experience with better products, and then B, cost savings that you can reinvest into growth in the company.
Right.
Those are really important. You need tools to be able to do that.
So you're working for these very big companies.
Yeah.
Right? And then you have this moment, I'm going to call it a moment of bravery. She decided to stand up and go, I'm going to fix this myself. Tell me about that.
It was really realizing what AI could do now.
Okay.
So I had always felt like there could be a better way to align technology with business need. But once I realized that, it's now or never. Now you can take AI and actually drive reasoning.
Right.
And drive the why and drive the what to do, and not just, hey, this is your data. I was like, I got to get on this train.
So we've gone beyond BI cubes, we've gone beyond analysts, we have agentic AI that can grab all these various data points and bring that all together, right?
And pull together the big picture. So you can see what's going to happen in your supply chain, what you should pay attention to, why it's happening, and then what you should do about it.
And so Sightline is designed to help who specifically? What kind of brands that you're looking at that would really benefit from your services and solutions?
It's a great question. I would say you really need two things as a threshold. So one is you need to be big enough as a chain to have your own proprietary products.
Okay.
Because if you aren't working directly with suppliers to get even just branded cups or your special sauces, then you're just buying off the product catalog of your distributor and you don't really need visibility to what's going on behind the scenes.
Right.
So you need to be big enough to do that. And two is you need somebody in the supply chain role. And then we work all the way up to folks who are like in the size of Chipotle, like thousands of units, because really like the needs only get more and more complex and they get more and more interesting, honestly, as you get more and more volume.
Is it regional, or like how these complexities add up?
So like, let me give you an example. So if you're opening up in a new market, you're going to need to onboard a new distribution center.
Okay.
And that distribution center is going to have just a little bit of volume from just your first couple stores. You're going to need to watch that, both the transition up and the maintenance of the right kind of product, especially if you're running LTOs. You need to negotiate all those agreements. If you try to do that manually, that's like a full-time person's worth of work.
Right.
You can't, especially for aggressive brands that are doing, multiple markets every year.
Right.
So really you want to be spending your time doing like the strategic work of menu innovation, negotiating with suppliers, visiting your suppliers, understanding how to improve the product. You don't want to be babysitting the execution of like whether there are 3 cases of my sauce in place for this restaurant opening. You want that to be taken care of automatically.
Okay.
And you want to make sure that's at the right price and that you allocated that in the most efficient way.
So against all that concept, where does Sightline come in? What is the thing that you're actually doing for your customers and clients with the solutions you offer?
So there's forecasting and planning functionality where we have a team of data scientists, which most restaurants cannot have in-house. And we will run a forecast for you. And that forecast is going to drive accuracy to what's going to happen.
And is that forecast powered by already the transactions from the business coming from POS or their previous orders, or how's that developed?
I love that question. That's actually a question I get a lot.
Yeah.
And
a lot of people have back house systems already, right?
Point of view. I have a contrarian point of view to that. So you're developing typically your like labor scheduling and like production scheduling in the restaurant based on your POS data.
Yes. We
don't think that's the best source of data. It helps us, but our primary source of data is actually the historical orders from that the restaurant is ordering in. Because if you start with POS data, you have to account for and correctly assume yield of the recipes that day based on who was in the kitchen.
Waste, right?
Waste, portioning, how generous was that person scooping?
Right.
The ordering patterns of general managers who are generally rational, but not always.
They work in their gut sometimes, right?
And they might go, I got to hoard some product today. I just got a feeling I'm going to need more.
Yeah.
And you have to get all that right to convert that POS data into an ingredient planning schedule. But you actually can just use the actual history of what they ordered and that's actually a better training set for our models, is what we found. There are some specific instances where that's not true. Like when you have a new product, you want to get the data as soon as possible. But generally speaking, that's how we develop our forecasts.
And somebody puts you, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
No, finish your thought.
Yeah. So we've got that forecast, but what we do with it is the interesting part. So we use it to project what's going to be in your supply chain in the future. And especially for things that take a long time, like there might be a boat involved in transporting it or something like that, you have to know in advance when you might have supply risk. That's what the forecast is doing. It's projecting what needs to happen 6 weeks from now or 12 weeks from now that it doesn't have the pieces in place today. So you're not in a place where you're like, oh, I'm going to be out of product tomorrow. Now I've got emergency. It's like I only have very expensive solutions. I've got to call everyone on the phone.
Yeah.
It's like we're catching it at the stage where all you have to do is just do a little nudge, make sure that happened, and you're good. You can move on.
Your name's starting to make sense for me. Sightline. I can
you're
see what's coming.
You're getting line of sight into your supply chain. And then on the purchasing side, it's the same. We're telling you how you're performing versus market, where there's cost savings opportunities you should be pursuing. And we're automating a lot of the very tedious work of making sure you're getting charged the right price, you've got the right allocations, your suppliers are like performing at the level they need to be for the product that they're sending you. So it's really just me looking at my past roles, my team's past work, and saying, what can AI do now? And to me, like this moving of product from A to B, especially perishable product in restaurants, it's like, sometimes like you can't hold too much because it's going to go bad. You have to get it just right. That's such an interesting, complex problem. And technology actually can solve it.
And now you don't need a
that's so
team to do that because the AI will do. I mean, you have a team that does it on your side.
You can have a team that's doing more strategic work.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I was so like. I wanted this in my past roles because we all had this list of projects we wanted to do that were fun, that were like impactful to the business.
Right.
And instead, we were like, oh, I gotta build this report, and then the Excel's broken, it's not loading, and oh, I've got an emergency over here, and that kind of day to day is like that can go away. That was
the tyranny
optional,
of the
really.
Urgent, they call that, right?
The not important but urgent.
Yeah.
That Gantt chart, you got it. Yeah.
We read the same books, or at least one of them.
I know, right?
So thinking about that ship that's sitting in the Long Beach harbor, I'm actually from Long Beach myself. I've seen those boats out there. How does Sightline understand the supply chain risks that are taking place, geopolitical things like that might impact supply chain? How are you tracking that and incorporating that in what you're suggesting?
Yeah. It's one that we're looking at the markets. So if there are like geopolitical things like fuel in Iran right now impacting important fuel surcharges on everything now.
Yes.
Like we're trying to help our customers get ahead of that.
Okay.
And then two is like the actual disruption. So we're looking forward in your supply chain to say what's not on track today, really upstream, maybe at your supplier, that's going to impact your restaurants maybe 2 months from now. And we're catching it for you before it's actually going to have an operational impact to your brand.
And so you're following the commodity markets too, prices
We track over 700 commodities.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I bet she's a hell of an investor.
Every brand has to make their own decisions is what I've learned.
Yeah.
Like working across brands with very different ethos and very different sourcing strategies, there's actually more than one right answer often.
Yeah. It's got to do what's right for them. It's got to be fit too, right?
Exactly.
And so it sounds like beyond just the solution, there's a consultative side of the business. Are you guiding your clients through these waters as well to help them get a better process, a better understanding of supply chain, maybe recommend another position or a role or some new disciplines they need to incorporate?
We are a software company.
Okay.
So we are very focused on building product that is robust and like secure and like just like unlocks a ton of value for the customers, and we do it fast. So what our customers really love is they'll come to us and say, hey, I've got like a business need. I can do this partially in your product, but then like I can't get all the way there, and we'll say, oh, that's a great idea. And then 2 weeks later, we'll show it to them.
Oh, fantastic.
We build incredibly fast. Yeah.
Wow.
That's been really fun because I've been...
Your face lights up when you talk about it.
Yeah. No, we love having customers who have their own product vision because that's so valuable for us.
Yeah.
Not just people who use the product, but people who want to see where it's going and want to contribute to that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, if people are watching Yusha, what do you want them to know about Sightline, that we might not have talked about now, or the takeaway message from this?
Yeah. Gosh, I would say our mission is to be the next generation in software. And we are really excited about working with people who want best-in-class technology and who want to harness AI in a way that's not like a solution in search of a problem, but is actually directly involved at the deepest level in the problems that need to get solved and trying to find the most elegant way to like make work better.
I love that. Well, we're here at the Restaurant Leadership Conference today, and where are you going to be next? I always like to see if people heard something they liked, where can they find you next? Are you going to be at the National Restaurant Association show? Where can people interact with you next?
Yeah. Well, you can always find us at sightlineos.com,
Okay.
Yusha at sightlineos.com, and on LinkedIn. And I will certainly be at NRA in May and Prosper later in the year, and
We love Prosper.
lots of other no, absolutely. I'll be at Nest events also. There's so many fantastic industry groups.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful to be part of the community. I meet people like you. It's really cool.
It is cool. This is why I do it too. I love being able to interact with people that are innovating, doing something new, and also to help. Our industry is the most beleaguered out there by all of the various forces that are, against it right now, whether it's economic, labor, all the things that go into it. And so we need relief.
Yeah, no, That's exactly it. Like you've got labor pressure, you've got cost pressure. At the same time, you've got more and more complexity in the supply chain.
We're
Hi.
recording. Hi, everybody. That's okay.
Little photo bomb.
That's okay.
We were reaching the
Get in
end.
here, you.
That's all right.
Yeah, come on in. No, you come on in. Yeah, come on. You already did this.
Hi, Tony.
Hi.
This is Ms. Tony Renane from
Hi,
the Sea
everyone.
Society. She's doing a little drop in to say, good luck. We're going to have a great show together.
That's right. Okay, I'll leave it.
You're blushing.
One day I'll do it back to you, Tony.
I love it. Anyway, so we were saying, cut.
We were wrapping it up.
No, but if people want to find you, we talked about where you're going to be next. And give me one quick myth bust about what you do. Like in my head, I used to do back office inventory, forecasting, stuff like that. And the moment, first time I talked to you, I was like, well, they already do this in the back office.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah.
What's the difference?
Yeah, so people actually often don't understand the exact role of a supply chain team in a corporate restaurant brand. So our product exactly overlaps the responsibilities of the supply chain team. They're responsible for figuring out who to buy from, what to buy at what price, and then the execution of that product from when it gets made by the supplier all the way to when it gets delivered to the restaurant. It stops at restaurant delivery. That's where operations takes over.
Got it.
So that's the myth. That like the inventory management in the restaurant, the replenishment in the restaurant,
Right.
that's supply chain's job. Thank goodness we're not like in the Chipotle system, like placing orders for 2,500 restaurants every day.
Right. So you're doing the grand forecasting. You're looking at the
It is
enterprise.
at the central level.
Yes.
Supply network level.
Okay. That is the myth busted. I'm glad you educated me on that. So I was like, don't we already do that? So no, this is awesome.
Yeah. There's some great solutions out there, restaurant ERP solutions that do that, like inventory management inside the restaurant.
But you guys play together. You're helping
we
that.
play together,
Yeah.
and we actually have some partnerships that we'll hopefully announce soon in that area.
Exciting.
Yeah.
So
Just
hopefully
a
break some
little
news with
tease.
her next.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more. Well, Yusha, it's always a pleasure to be talking with you. What you're doing sounds really exciting. I'm excited to hear some of the results and findings you're having, and love to have a conversation about that
Yes.
as you start working with your brands more and more. So I definitely want to put a pin for that
Very
next
happy
conversation.
customers, very exciting case studies. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, this has been Usha Hu with Sightline OS, and we're signing off here from the RLC conference, and we'll see you next time. Everybody stay tuned for more content from the RLC show. Take care.